have a yoga mat and are feeling like doing a little bit more movement, and you don't even have to have a yoga mat to do this sort of movement, just a comfortable surface. Let's come down onto our knees and plant your hands underneath your shoulders. The hips are stacked over the knees. So just take a moment here, back to a little bit of intuitive movement. Maybe you start to work into the spine. You can be really structured about this movement by dropping the belly and lifting the gaze. And then exhale, round the spine. The head goes towards the mat. Or you can be less structured about this. You can kind of sway and make some sort of snake-like motions with the spine. You can drop your hips back. You can drop them forward. You have all sorts of options available to you here. And you're welcome to play and explore and see what feels good in your body. So we'll stay here for another moment. Maybe moving more structured, maybe moving more curiously. And then finishing up what you're doing, let's come back to our tabletop. And what we're going to do is just press our hips back to the floor, and you're going to take your forehead to the floor. Take a breath here and breathe into the upper back. So often we can just see our front body, we don't really see our back, but our ribs are front and back, and they expand in both directions. So as you're here, with your head on the floor or close to the floor, it doesn't have to be touching if you're feeling a little claustrophobic. Breathe into your back body. Imagine that you're pressing someone's hands away that might be touching your shoulder blades with your breath. Giving a little bit of awareness into your back. And if you're like, I don't know what that means, or I'm not feeling that, that's okay. Just think about that back, the back line, your spine, as you breathe in and out. And notice if there's any movement happening there. Okay. On your next inhale, let's come back to tabletop, and this time we're going to shift our hips back and up into a down dog. So all you're going to do is straighten out those legs. They don't have to stay straight. You can kind of wiggle through the knees, wiggle through the spine, and then let's inhale, drop our knees back to the floor. Exhale, come back to your child's pose with your heels or your hips against your heels. We're not going to stay here long. We're moving with our breath. Inhale, come forward to table. Exhale, down dog. Once again, we're not here very long, just a breath. Inhale, drop the knees to table with some control. Exhale, child's. 2 more of this little sequence. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, come back. If you want to move faster, you can. If you want to move slower, you can. As long as you're moving with the breath. 1 more. Inhale to come forward. Right into the exhale to press back. And then on your next exhale, let's just drop to our knees and come up. One final wrist strengthening, or I guess 2 strengthening wrist movements here. The first one we're going to do is take our arms out, and you can be seated, you can be on your knees, up or down, just somewhere comfortable. So you'll take your hands out and then tip your fingertips behind you. So a little bit of a stretch already. If this is a lot of stretch, maybe you just stay here. If you've got a little bit more, start to take 1 finger in at a time, making a fist. Keeping your fingertips or your wrist tipped back, and then open 1 finger at a time. The coordination on this might feel a little bit funny, and that's okay, but you might start to notice something happening like in your forearm, and that's great. Okay, maybe 1 more time on that direction, and then we'll take our fingertips in front of us, bending our wrists. Same thing, thumbs come in, index, middle fingers, pinky. Doesn't have to be perfect or exact. Just by trying to keep this shape and moving the fingers in and out, I think you'll notice quite a bit of sensation happening. Okay, 2 more. This time fingertips point up towards the ceiling, palms out, same thing. Maybe you've kind of got it, got the motion, and you start to move a little bit faster. That's cool too. Since we're doing it on 4 sides, maybe just do it, or 4 directions, maybe just do it 2 or 3 times each side. And then fingertips point down towards the floor. You're gonna keep this kind of lift up through your arms. Same thing, thumbs, index, middle fingers, pinky, and by this time it might start to feel like a little bit of work. Things might not be working or moving as smoothly as before. That's okay. Okay, give that a little shake. Last one. You're gonna take one hand in front of you, it doesn't matter which, we'll do both. Make a fist. You don't have to squeeze, just a comfortable fist. And then with the other hand, you're going to hold at the bottom of the wrist, pull down, so you're pulling that skin down and just giving a little bit of a squeeze. From there, roll your wrist in circles, continuing to pull down. And you might notice a nice little stretch on all sides of the wrist, moving in both directions, of course. Okay, when you've had enough of that, go ahead and switch sides. You just make a comfortable fist. Take the other hand, pull the skin down with a little squeeze, and then nice slow circles. Both directions. Okay, give that a little shake. So this is what I have for you. Hopefully this leaves you with some ideas and feeling better in especially your hands, fingers, wrists, shoulders.